used them in quantities during the Battle of France in 1940. It was called the Hawk 75. But it's the same aircraft. It's a delightful aircraft. It's fabulously balanced. It's quite easy to fly, simple. Of course, it's 1935, 1936 technology, but with the first use of hydraulics on a fighter. And its aerodynamics are superb, used by the French during the Battle of France against Messerschmitt 109s of the first version, the Emils. The Curtis was really well flown. It was a winner against the Messerschmitt 109. And the fact is that the French Air Force shot down during, in a few weeks' time, shot down over 850 German aircraft during the Battle of France. Coming in to land the Bearcat, Pitkinsey, and the Curtises are not far to the left. Two P36 or Hawk and two P40s. Wow. That is a beautiful formation. In fact, the P36 or Hawk 75 and P40 are the same airframe, but with different engines. The P36 Hawk 75 is equipped with a radial engine, a round engine, which makes it stubbier, short fuselage and short nose. While the P40, which came after, was equipped with an Allison V12 engine or a Merlin engine. And suddenly the aircraft becomes sleeker, longer. And with this incredible, on the P40, this incredible air scoop under the propeller cone. Here come the short ones. The camouflage one is on French colors, Battle of France 1940. And here come the P40s. The silver P36 is the latest addition to the fighter collection. The aircraft just arrived and, well, it's flying superbly well, but yesterday, for instance, there were some nagging problems minor problems, of course, about hydraulics and so on. You have to fix that, and it's been done. Well, the P40s, the silver one, is again an early version of the P40 with the Allison engine. This one, and the second one is equipped with the Merlin engine. It's a Merlin engine version. The P40 wasn't really a top fighter during the years 1942 to 1945, but it wrote history in a big sense. For instance, being flown by the Flying Tigers in the Far East. and the P40 became famous because of the shark mouth design being applied to the Flying Tigers aircraft, which made them very, very, very famous on the home front. In the magazines, there were stories about the Flying Tigers with these photos of these shark-mouthed fighters flown by, let's call them consultants, like we would say today, and at the time they called them mercenaries. American pilots who had signed contracts to go fly in China for the Chinese government with the blessings of Washington. The Hawk 75, this one, wearing the French colors, is a very historic aircraft in that many parts in this very machine come from Curtis number 82, which was delivered to the French Air Force, which served in the French Air Force during World War II, early World War II, during the Battle of France, and then in Morocco, in Casablanca, for instance. It was with the Lafayette Squadron there. And this aircraft is the only survivor of World War II wearing the French roundels. There's only one aircraft belonging to the French Air Force which survived the war, and this is it. The P36 coming now from the left is exactly the same aircraft. This one is even was built a few months before the French one, and the funny thing is that when you look at it, you see that the American version had completely smooth wings and fuselage. The rivets used for the construction of the aircraft are shaved off, and it gives a very smooth finish, while the French version has little bubbles. Why? It was because it was much easier to build with standard rivets protruding. It takes time to shave the rivets, and the French needed the aircraft badly and quickly, and so the Hawk 75 is maybe 2 mph slower than the P36 because it's not as smooth in finish than the P36, which makes really no difference for the pilot, from the pilot point of view. We are going to bring the Curtises back to the ground. Again, the Hawk 75 and P36 are delightful aircraft to fly, very harmonized and balanced, very predictable. Very American. The Hawk 75 was flown by Mr. Marquis Marchasson, former pilot from the French Air Force, now an airline pilot. Mr. Goldspink is flying the P40F. Steve Hinton is now landing in front of us. Steve Hinton from California is from Chino, California, was flying the P36. And Mr. Southwood was flying the P40C, the silver one, which is now approaching to land. Landing, sorry. And now we're waiting for the Cadillacs of the skies, according to Steven Spielberg, and here they come. Above us, one of the Mustangs, the silver and blue one, is flown by a great artist. His name is Frédéric Acari. He is French. He's an airline pilot and instructor, flies 777s for Air France. But he was a member of the French aerobatic team, and his demo on the Mustang is something worth not only the looking, but the description. The Mustang is more than an aircraft, it's an icon. Today more than 100 of them are still flying around the world. And it's a strange aircraft. It was designed by a German engineer which had fled to America during the early 30s. His name was Mr. Schmid. Mr. Schmid wanted his aircraft to have exceptional performance in terms of speed and range. So he went to the California Technology Institute in Pasadena, where he met an emigre from Hungary, whose name was Mr. von Karman. And von Karman gave him a solution in the form of laminar wing. So a German engineer based in California put a Hungarian wing idea, at least, on his project. And when the aircraft flew, it was equipped with an American engine, the Allison engine, and it was very good, but not really exceptional. And North American, the builder of the aircraft, sent one example in Britain, and one British test pilot flew it and said this would be a monster if you put a Merlin engine in it, a British engine form. And so an aircraft designed by a German, equipped with aerodynamic revolutionary wing.
It was Ronnie Harker from Rolls-Royce.
Rolls-Royce.
He flew the aircraft and then said, give me 2 of these and 2 Merlins and I'll make you a better aircraft. And he did.
And this is the result. The P51 in the D version, these are Ds. Was really it's even if today you would give the requirements saying design an aircraft like this, like that, some people think that it wouldn't be better. It's really a modern aircraft. It's roomy. It's not that difficult to fly in peacetime. For instance, Fred Acari uses for this aerobatic demo, uses very conservative engine settings. He uses 46 inches on the manifold pressure and 2700 RPM on the prop, and let Sir Isaac Newton do the rest. It plays a yo-yo. It converts speed into altitude and altitude into speed, and it's a never-ending process. And the aircraft is so sleek and so clean aerodynamically that it just dances on the vertical across the skies. This is one of the sexiest aircraft which ever flew. 4 Mustangs are flown by Mustang 1 is Nick Gray, heir of Stephen Gray. And Mustang 2 is Lorsnes from Norwegian. He's a Norwegian, yeah, Norwegian Woods. And Léon Matisse from France is flying Mustang 3. And Fred Acari from France again is flying this one. In front of us, the silver and blue one. It's strange because if you look closely at the aircraft when they pass in front of us, you would see that the number 2 Mustang, for instance, flown by Lars, when he flies, he's just eating the instrument panel. He has his nose flat on the panel, while some others do fly a little bit further down. But Lars has this characteristic. It's very funny to look at him.
Well, I suppose the further forward you go in the seat, the nearer the center of gravity you are, and the better the feeling.
Yes, but it makes, in fact, the seat is the same position. It depends on the personality of the flyer. Some of them loosen the straps, the shoulder straps, and they, well, being really on the thing forward gives you a different approach in terms of focusing, while some others are more relaxed and lean back. And now, of course, Her Highness
Sally B. The legendary legend of a lot of them.
The one and only B17 Flying Fortress, still flying in Europe, through miracles.
It's miracles and pure emotion that keeps that aircraft up there. And a lot of devotion and